All right, so Bobby Gaines here with some Red Sox baseball, Red Sox Yankees rivalry baseball. The Red Sox have a chance to sweep the Yankees, but they're not really doing their job to this point. It is currently 6-4 New York. After David Price has just yet again imploded at home, and it's a pretty discouraging sign to say the least. But overall, I've actually been feeling kind of optimistic about this team. When you've been as putrid as the Red Sox have been in the last few years, just being 14-10 feels like you're 80 games over 500. I mean, it's just been so abominable to watch them these past couple of years that they've been on a little run lately. They've won, I think, 6 of their last 7 games, something like that. I mean, granted, they've been playing the Astros, the Braves, and the Yankees, who are struggling, all struggling teams, but the Red Sox have beaten them for the most part. And it's kind of troubling that the only 2 pitchers who really haven't delivered lately are Clay Buchholz and David Price. Now, Clay Buchholz, I expect him to suck, but David Price, I mean, I just remember all the times the Red Sox played against him when he was in Tampa Bay or Toronto, and it was just kind of like, you knew, playing David Price, there were going to be a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. Even when the Red Sox were hitting well, you knew you were going to get maybe a run, maybe 2 runs off him. I can't remember him giving up 6 runs to the Red Sox very often when he was pitching against them, but that's what he's done with this game. 6 runs on the board for New York, 4 of them hit by Alex Rodriguez, of all people. The 40-year-old Alex Rodriguez hitting like 200 on the season, and David Price can't get him out. And it's whatever. I hate to make this a frustrating rant because I really was all excited to kind of get into this game. Red Sox and Yankees, their first series of the year. It's just like this with the Red Sox, though. Every time I'm about to get excited about a game or a series or something, they just kind of blow up, and it's like they're always just one bad inning away from blowing up. Now, the good news is their offense has been really good this year, so they're down by 2, but I feel like they could make up that 2 very easily. Maybe not in this inning, but maybe, down the road. The Yankees, outside of Miller and Betances, their bullpen's kind of wonky. Like, they imploded in the last couple games, but I don't know. The Red Sox, I'm hoping they win this game as Poppy just kind of takes a strike for some obligatory reason, and the count runs to 3-1. Like I said, they could win this game. Even if they don't, I feel still kind of okay about them. That was a really bad swing and miss. It seems like the more I talk about them, the worse they do, but what else is new? So, I don't know. I feel like the Red Sox have a run in them. Like, they could be really good. Or not really good, but they could be better. Right now, they're currently tied for the top in the division, but how seriously are you going to take that in May? That one is hit foul by Ortiz. Ortiz has been, without a surprise, one of the team's best hitters. And, him and Travis Shaw have really kind of made up the middle of that lineup. Dustin Pedroia and Mookie Betts at the top. Xander Bogaerts even once in a while chipping something in. So, 1 through 6, they're really good. Even the bottom of the lineup, Jackie Bradley Jr. has been phenomenal. And so has Brock Holt at times. Christian Vasquez really the only weak hitter in the lineup, but you'll take that given what he provides to the pitching staff. As Ortiz hits one, nice, away from the shift and into right field there. They were set up for that, the Yankees were. They had their second baseman pretty much playing shallow right field, but it didn't help him in that one. Ortiz lining a base hit as the Ortiz signs are waving at Fenway Park. So right now already the tying run's coming to the plate. So I feel like the Red Sox, this game's far from over, but David Price has to settle down or they have to get another pitcher in there because it's weird because, I thought maybe the Yankees are just heating up, but no, the Yankees are terrible this season, and in this series they haven't done much. I think they've scored like 2 or 3 runs the entire series up till now. So it's not that the Yankees are figuring it out. It just seems like David Price is just throwing some meatballs like he did to Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay's not a great hitting team either, and he gave up 8 runs to that team after the Red Sox got him a 5-1 lead. So there's at least been 3 or 4 games this season where Price has pretty much blown the game. This one's not over yet, but there's so many games where David Price is just, they get a lead and he just gives up, not just a run, he gives up 3 or 4 runs and just really just buries his own team pretty early in the game. Luckily this one, they're only behind by 2 because they scored 4 runs. I can remember last season the Red Sox wouldn't score 4 runs in a game, so if they gave up 6, they'd be out of it really early. So that's the encouraging thing about this year's team, whether they end up being good or not. I feel like they're watchable because of this, because they can get on a roll, get a few hits, and they're back in the game. Whereas last year, it seemed like it was nothing, and as soon as they gave up a run, it was like, well, see you next week. That's just what it is, and it's whatever. But this year they are better in that regard. They've come back a lot, actually. And unfortunately, they've also given up the lead a lot. But they've come back from, being down. I think they were down like 7-2 once against the Blue Jays, and they came back to win that game. So 6-4 is something they can come back from. And, very few games, actually, the Red Sox have scored less than 5 runs in a game. So they're tops in the league in that category. The pitching has been, weirdly enough, it's been David Price lately. His last start was really good against Atlanta, but at least 2 of his last 3 starts, he's given up 6 runs or more. So, that's kind of ridiculous. I know all good pitchers have bad outings, but usually David Price has 3 or 4 bad outings in a season. He's already had 3 or 4 bad outings in April. So his ERA's got to be well over 5 at this point. And it's just discouraging, if only because I watched this all last season. I watched Wade Miley get bombed, Rick Porcello get bombed, Joe Kelly get bombed, start after start after start. The starters getting pulled after 5 innings, giving up 6 runs. And when they got David Price, I'm like, all right, at least once a week, maybe twice a week, I get to watch a pitcher go 7 innings and give up 1 run or less. But that hasn't really been the case, as he hits that ball, and they're only going to get the 1 out at second. So and out there as Castro and Ortiz share some pleasantries at second base. What was I saying? David Price was supposed to be the sure thing. I know there are no sure things, but when they got him, I'm like, all right, finally, a starter that will go 7 innings, save the bullpen. Because I remember him, because I haven't followed him intensely, but from being a Red Sox fan so long, I saw him pitch against the Red Sox, and it seemed like every time he pitched against the Red Sox, they had no chance to get more than 3 runs. And yet, now that he's on the Red Sox, he's given up 10 runs. It just goes to show you. Just like when they got Carl Crawford, and he sucked for them, and he was good against them. And it's just, I don't know, it's this weird thing with the Red Sox. They signed the best players. Oh, geez, that was hammered. Is that going to be fair? Home run! No. No, yes, it was! Oh, my God! I've never, gotten a home run on camera, at least in a long time. And Travis Shaw just jacks that out of there for his 3rd home run of the year, and that will tie the game at 6. So talk about coming back. They show me right there why this team can be exciting and should be exciting for a long time to come if their pitching can hold it together. But 6-6 in the 5th, and the Red Sox are, obviously back in it now. Tie game after that. Wow, let's see that again. I knew we got a hold of it, but damn. Yep, that was gone. Travis Shaw's good. I like Travis Shaw. I like Travis Shaw because he wasn't one of those prospects that got shoved down our throats for years. It wasn't like back in 2010 they were like, oh, watch this Travis Shaw kid. He's going to come up. Watch this Travis Shaw kid. He's in Double-A. Travis Shaw has the best OBP in the Pacific Coast Walmart League. Travis Shaw just kind of appeared, and he hit so well last season. And I know you can't really get too excited about a couple months of good hitting when, major league careers are 10 years or more, but I got excited about those couple months of hitting. Maybe because the team sucked, maybe because I just needed something to do. But Travis Shaw was really impressive last year, and he's just carrying it over to this year. Oh wow, that was an awkward dive for the ball. And he's out at first, so there's 2 outs after Brock Holt grounds out. I don't even know anyone on the Yankees anymore. I think that's Chase Headley. The Yankees used to have an entire infield. Alfonso Soriano, Derek Jeter, obviously, even Scott Brocious. I knew the Yankees infield. And now I don't really know anyone there. Starlin Castro, Didi Gregorius. Mark Teixeira is their most well-known name in the infield. So, even Robinson Cano at second, he was a mainstay for, 8 years? But, again, these aren't the same Yankees I remember even a few years ago. But, whatever. That one is grounded weakly.